Hi, Energy Group. My name is Marcia Erickson, and I am thrilled to be with you today. I appreciate the invite from Alexis. I apologize that I can't be there in person. But when we were talking about me presenting, I realized that I have clients that I can't reschedule at this time on Wednesdays at noon, but I wanted to get this information to you. I wanted to present myself. And I wanted to give you some information to take away with you. And if we waited until the next month or the next month when I was available, you wouldn't have the opportunity to use some of the information that I'm giving you today. So we got creative. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to be creative and flexible. And so when we discovered the date was the date I wasn't available, I said, why don't we do a video and we'll tape it? And Alexis is going to continue the conversation after I get done presenting this to you so that you can keep the conversation going and learn from each other throughout the rest of your meeting. So what I want to talk about today is not just about myself and coaching, but I want to talk to you business owner to business owner about some tools that we use to help businesses really get to peak performance in their business. So maybe you're feeling a little bit in chaos right now because we've had to change so many things. Maybe you're feeling like there is just so much more that you wanted out of your business or that you thought it could be, or the dream that you had for it, and you're just not getting there as quickly or as smoothly as you had hoped. And so I'm going to share with you some tools that we use when we coach clients to really reach that maximum potential quicker and faster than if they were trying some of these strategies on their own. So a little bit about me. My name is Marcia Erickson. I live in Bettendorf with my family. I have a background in healthcare administration, actually. That was always my dream. And after 20 years in the corporate environment, I got to learn all kinds of different things about running a business and had the opportunity to get several certifications and learn strategies. I did everything in healthcare outside of facilities and supply chain. So I decided to go out, much like many of you, and start my own business and use all of those things that I had the opportunity to learn and share them with all kinds of different types of businesses. And that's the reason I love what I do, is that I get to help businesses, not just within the healthcare setting, but within other industries as well, be really successful. I'm passionate about P's, people, process improvement, performance excellence planning, and for those of you who know me, pizza. I am very active in the community. I'm a leader board member. I've been on the board of the YWCA, very active in my church and the chamber. I have two teenagers that I'm raising and a husband that I'm raising, all living here in Bettendorf. I have a graduating senior and a freshman. So I use coaching all day long, not just in my business. Let's talk a little bit about what I do. What I get to do with business owners, just like you, is bring motivation and inspiration. I have some clients who just didn't know which way to turn. They weren't sure what they wanted to do in their business. And, after years and years of doing the same thing that worked really well, sometimes those things get a little stale. They needed some inspiration, motivation, and sometimes being a business owner can be really lonely. And so having a coach is kind of like having a silent partner that you can brainstorm with and call you on some things that maybe you don't notice in yourself. So I get to bring awareness to my clients and help them see some blind spots, either in themselves or their teams or their businesses that maybe no one had pointed out to them before or felt comfortable sharing with them. I get to share business insights and best practices. I do business education. Sometimes there's things about business that maybe you aren't comfortable asking certain people. So a lot of my clients are really, really good at their craft, what they love doing, but maybe they're not as confident in running their business. And so I can help them with those things. And then the other thing that I bring is focus. So a lot of my clients are feeling like they're all over the place. They may be running more than one business at one time. They're not sure where to put their time, energy, and focus. And so I spend a lot of time helping them put a plan together and helping them clear away some of the dust and the fuzz so that they can really get clear on what it is they need to accomplish and want to some strategies they want to try in their business. And then we test and measure those to see if they're successful. And then when we get those in place, then we try some more. So add some focus and clarity what they're trying to do. So let's talk about the fact, how do we do that? If we're just coming off of some really important basketball tournaments, both women and men. And imagine if you were in Indianapolis, for instance, and you were looking up at the Jumbotron and there was no score on the scoreboard. How would we know? How would I know if I won the bracket in my family and beat my husband, which I did, if we didn't know what the score was? So you may be feeling that way in your business too, right? How do you know if you're actually accomplishing the goals that you set out to accomplish? Are you winning? Or are you losing? Some days we're not really sure, right? So I want to share with you some key metrics to measure in your business. So your personal scoreboard, and you'll notice that this scoreboard really is going to apply to each one of you. We may call some of these things different names, but the role they play in your business and the numbers are still the same. So this applies to any business anywhere. And that's kind of the beauty of this. So that's why I get the opportunity to coach a variety of different businesses. So all of us know, let's break this down a little bit. All of us, for the most part, probably know the number of customers that we have in our business, clients, patients, and we probably know the revenue that it brings in, right? And we're always concerned with what profit is left over after we pay all of our expenses from that revenue. Those are kind of givens in a business, but we could pound our head against the wall all day long, trying to move those numbers to be what we want them to be bigger and stronger. The way we do that is really when you start to peel those numbers apart and we multiply them back together, we actually can get the momentum and leverage in our business that we're looking for. So rather than pushing one of those numbers at a time, when we take them apart and move them each just a little bit, and we tweak them each just a little bit in a really organized fashion, we can get to the results that we want a lot quicker and in a little bit less chaos, let's say. So Alexis is going to share with you a sheet that this is going to be part of your takeaway and part of your homework as well, but you may want to keep this handy as we walk through these numbers. So let's talk about what a lead is. So a lead is anyone who has expressed an interest in doing business with you or your business. So take a customer, back that down. Where did those customers actually come from? So what are your lead generation strategies? You may have one that works really well. You may have 5 that you're trying out, or you may have 10 that you're just throwing effort at to see if they work. What we encourage clients to do is start with a 5, focus on 5, and then move to a 10 until you really get good and know what those lead generation strategies that are going to work in your business. The next is your conversion rate. So how many of those leads are you actually converting to patients, customers, clients? And there's a whole variety of strategies that we can put in place to do that as well. You can see if you break those two numbers apart, there's a whole wealth of opportunity and strategies that you can place that maybe you're not even thinking of that would help increase your customers. So then when we focus on the customers you already have, so think about what your client database looks like. How many times are those clients actually coming to you to buy throughout the year? Some businesses you're going to have, maybe you're a once in a lifetime, or maybe you're an every month type of business where they're buying from you more often. But how can you increase that number? And how can you increase the average amount of money that they're spending with you on each transaction? So as you can imagine, once we start to multiply those together, if we put a couple strategies in place to move each one of those, our revenue is now going to increase quite significantly. And then we want to focus on margin. And actually, I'm saying these in a certain order, right? We're reading left to right. This is actually the place that we would start, is how can we increase your margin, your profit margin percentage, meaning how can we keep more of the money that you're making and reduce your cost structure. So let's put some numbers to this so you can see actually how it works. So if you, for instance, look over here on the left-hand side, say your company has, just for math's sake, 4,000 leads a year, and you, through testing and measuring, you know that you're converting 25% of those, 25, 1 in 4 actually become a customer, client, patient. And let's say they buy from you twice a year for simplicity's sake, and they spend $100. Your revenue obviously would be $200,000. If your profit margin is healthy at 25%, your profit at the end of the year would be $50,000, meaning your expenses, your revenue minus your expenses leaves you with $50,000. So let's say you have a goal of much more than that. Let's say you have a goal of closer to $100,000. And you're just not sure how to get there. What we would do is walk through each one of these and think about the strategies that you already have in place to move some of these numbers. And then let's try 1 or 2 new. So for instance, let's say, and some of these are mine. These aren't necessarily my numbers, but these are some of the strategies that I'm working on. So let's say I want to focus on a particular strategy to increase my leads. Let's say I know that referrals is an awesome way for me to get business, and I'm going to focus on that for the next quarter. And let's say I actually make an effort to talk to my clients about, hey, who do you know that I should be talking to? Who are other clients that are awesome like you that might benefit from coaching, that want to be really, really successful, just like you are? A lot of times we forget to ask for referrals, or we feel uncomfortable, we feel awkward about asking for that. But let's say I put a strategy in place, and maybe I put some incentive in place to do that. So I put a strategy to focus on it. I put some incentives in place, and lo and behold, the referrals start coming in, and I increase my clients. So let's say that I increase them 10%. So in this business, in this larger business, maybe that goes to 4,400. And then let's say I really focus on my conversion rate. So I know that I bring in a great amount of leads, but I want to increase the number who actually come on board for coaching. So maybe I need to look at the scripts that I'm using. Maybe in your business, you need to talk to your sales team about the scripts that they're using, and be really focused and intentional around that, because it has been shown to increase conversion rates. And when we put that in place, let's say we increase that 10%. Now look what we've done. Our customers, we've increased them far more than 10%, right? Just by putting 2 strategies in place that moved our numbers. So then let's say we look at our current clients, and we notice that they're only buying from us 2 times a year, and we really would like to increase that because we know that we can add more value to them. Well, let's say we get really intentional about following up with them. How many times do we have clients that they come by from us once and we forget to ask them to come back, and we forget to tell them that we would love for them to come back? And maybe we didn't do that follow-up phone call to see that they were really satisfied. A lot of times when we make that follow-up phone call, we notice that, oh, there is something else that we could help them with. So let's say we moved our numbers 10%. And then let's say we wanted to focus on increasing our average dollar sale. Well, do the clients that we're talking to and following up with and asking referrals from, do they know everything that we have to offer? So maybe there are things that are a smaller dollar item that would help increase our number of transactions, or maybe we need to add, maybe some of them want a higher end product that we don't offer. So we start to add, we get focused on that, and we put that in place, and we move that 10%. So now we've gone from 200,000 to 292,000. Putting those little things in place, we've actually increased our revenue 46% by moving each one of those numbers 10%. You see how this is starting to add up. And then let's say we want to increase our profit margin. I bet many of you are, if you look at your clients, we have all of our clients rank their clients, patients, customers, A, B, C, and D. And you probably know in your business what that criteria is. But I bet when you look at those D clients, they're probably ones that you're struggling to get to pay. They're maybe not upfront honest with you. They're sometimes taking more time and energy then they're actually benefiting your business. And I think if we get really clear and honest about that, that's not always fun to do when we get honest about that, eliminating them and replacing them with A, B, C or clients will likely increase your profit margin. So that's just one example. And those are just some, 5 simple strategies. If you look at the list I gave you, there's over 300 strategies in there that you could replace these with. So when we're working together, then we put the strategies in place. The important part is to measure where were we before, where were we after. So if you've ever worked with a coach, there's always homework. So I hope each of you leave today, take that sheet with you, and at the very least, just pull what your current numbers are, so that you know, and then give thought to what strategies are we using and which ones are we not using that we want to put in place in our business. And you can follow up with me and we can talk about that further. So what would you do if you actually hit that goal, that profit goal that you had for your business? Would you potentially, does it give you the opportunity to invest more in the community, in that nonprofit that you love to support? Does it give you some more time off, some more trips with your family, more vacations, or does it help you expand your team and grow the business? Maybe it helps you to open the next location or franchise. So lots of things can happen when you get really intentional around growth strategies in your business. So I hope you found value in that today. And I hope I've given you a new perspective and a new way to look at your business to maybe help cut out the noise and simplify it, and help you to know whether you are winning or losing. What are you going to do different from here today? Again, I hope you take some time when you get back to the office before the end of the week and actually pull those numbers. Ask your team if you don't know where they're at. How would we, if we're not capturing our leads, how would we, or what do we need to pull? How can we get numbers on where our leads are actually coming from, where our clients come from, how many we're converting, how much they're spending with us. You're probably going to grab these from a couple different places, put them into a scorecard, and watch those numbers move over time. Here's some of the folks. This is just a sampling of some of the clients I work with. What you'll notice with many of them, you'll see words like positive, successful, innovative, exciting. We do a lot of brainstorming, and there's a lot of accountability built in there too. Sometimes we just need someone to nudge us to make sure we do the things that we already know that we need to do. Here's some of the coaching opportunities I provide. I coach clients one-on-one. I have a group that I'm starting up right now. I have a couple business owners who'd like to add at least one more to their group so that they can share. They want to coach together and share time with me and network together and brainstorm together. I offer a business education course. I do speaking, much like today. I am a strategic planner by training, so I like to do strategic planning with large organizations. And I also do planning with all of my clients. So each 90 days, all of my clients get together and we work on our mindset, and we get really excited about the next quarter and our annual goals. And they walk away with a one page 90-day plan for their business. And then if any of you have teams that you need to, that you want to increase engagement and communication and create a higher performing team, I am a DISC trainer and love to work with executives and leaders to improve themselves and their teams. So where do we go from here? If I've piqued your interest enough that you're kind of interested in learning more, I have a couple workshops that I actually do live. The first Tuesday, so I had one last night at Crawford Brew Works. And then on the fourth Thursday, I have one down at Front Street. I'm actually meeting with those that are comfortable coming out and meeting live. These are small groups, typically not more than 10 people. We socially distance, but it's also a lot of fun and a great opportunity to connect. So 3:30 on the first Tuesday and the fourth Thursday. And then if you really feel like you're interested in learning more, to reward your time, and because I think this is an awesome group that I may want to join, I am offering a free coaching session. So if you've got questions and your mind's spinning and you want to learn more, I'm happy to sit down with you for up to 2 hours and talk to you about specific things in your business, and how we might be able to help. What that looks like is you just reach out to me. Let Alexis know, reach out to me. My contact information is on here. I'll send you a couple questionnaires because I want to be prepared to help strategize with you. I'll send you some requests for information, follow up with some phone calls to get some clarity, and then we'll sit down and actually strategize about your business. And we'll walk through these exact numbers so you know where you're at. Here's how to contact me. And I know several people in the group also have access to me. My business cards are there. Feel free to call my cell phone, send me an email, check out my website. And if you want to schedule with me, I'm on Once Hub at Marsha Erickson Coach, Action Coach. And you can just jump on my calendar. It's really, really simple. So I hope this has given you some things to think about today. I look forward to meeting all of you in person, and I'll leave you with this thought: where you'll be in 5 years will depend on the books you read, the people you associate with, like the people in the room, and the actions you take. I appreciate your time today, and I look forward to meeting you all in person. Have a great day.